Sometimes the biggest stories are hiding in the tiniest details. So today, we're going to go on a little treasure hunt. And believe it or not, our map is just a single page. Let's dig in and see what secrets it's hiding. So, how much can one page really tell you? I mean, think about it. You've got a title, an author, a version number, a date. Is that just, noise, or is there a whole story hiding there in plain sight? Well, that's what we're here to find out. All right, here it is. This is it. This is our entire piece of evidence for today. Just one single line of text. We've got the title, Beige Guide to Learning Computer Science. The author, Brian Beige Jorgensen Hall. A version number, V0.11.2, and a copyright date, October 9th, 2025. Yeah, everything we're going to figure out starts right here. Okay, first things first. When you're investigating something, where do you start? Well, you start with a name, right? So let's look at the clues that are hiding in the title and who wrote this thing. So check this out. There's a really interesting contrast here. You've got the title, Beige Guide, Learning Computer Science, and then the author, Brian Hall. But look, he makes a point of putting his nickname right in there, Beige Jorgensen. Come on, that's not an accident. That is absolutely a deliberate choice. So why would he do that? What does throwing in a nickname like that really tell you about the guide's personality? Right away, it screams, hey, this isn't some stuffy academic textbook. It makes it feel personal, way more approachable. It's like you're getting advice from your buddy Beige, not some formal Professor Hall. Okay, so we've got a friendly vibe. Let's move on to the next clue and see where this goes. The version number. Now, to most people, this is just a random string of numbers. But for us, playing detective here, it's basically a timestamp. It tells us the project's whole life story. And here it is, V0.11.2. Just three little numbers separated by dots. But that first number, that 0, oh, that is the golden clue right there. It tells us pretty much everything we need to know about where this guide is at right now. See, in the world of software, techie documents and stuff, a V0 release, that means something very specific. It's kind of like an industry standard. If you see a version that starts with a 0, it means the project isn't considered done yet. It's not fully stable. It's a huge, clear signal that says, hey, I'm still working on this. So what can we figure out from that? Well, it tells us the guide's status loud and clear. It's actively being worked on. It hasn't hit that big version 1.0 milestone yet. And that means it's probably going to change. It's not some static, finished book you buy in a store. Nope, it's a living document, something that's always evolving. All right, so we've got a friendly guide, and it's a work in progress. But our next clue, this is the one that's going to make you lean in a little. This is the really curious part, the copyright date. It kind of looks like a message sent back from the future. Just take a look at this. Copyright October 9, 2025. Okay, unless you've got a time machine and you're watching this from the future, that date has not happened yet. So what in the world is going on here? Let's just put that year front and center. 2025. I mean, it just jumps right off the page, doesn't it? This is that moment in an investigation where you have to stop and go, whoa, okay, this changes things. Is it just a huge mistake, a simple typo, or is this a very, very intentional statement? So, we're at a fork in the road here with two main possibilities. Possibility A, it's just a simple typo. The author was typing, hit the wrong key. It happens to all of us. Or there's possibility B. This is a deliberate target date, a goal, maybe even a finish line they're aiming for. Now, when you think about it, especially with that V0 release we just talked about, the typo theory, it just feels less likely, right? Instead, this future date really suggests the author has a serious long-term vision. It's like they're telling us, I'm committed to working on this thing for years. They're aiming for it to be complete, or at least super relevant, around October 2025. That's really ambitious. Okay, let's take a breath here. We've gathered our clues, right? We have the friendly nickname, that work-in-progress version number, and this super ambitious future date. So let's step back and put all these puzzle pieces together to build a complete profile of this guide. So what did we actually learn here? Think about it. From just one single line of text, we've managed to build a surprisingly detailed profile. We figured out the guide's personality is friendly and approachable. We know its status is work in progress. It's a living, breathing document. And we've seen that its intent is totally forward-looking and ambitious, with a clear long-term plan. Honestly, not bad for just a few minutes of detective work. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. The big picture. Why does any of this matter? I mean, it was a fun little exercise, but what's the point? Well, the point is that what we've just done is practice the art of reading metadata. And that is an absolutely critical skill to have in our digital world. So, what even is metadata? The simplest way to think about it is this: it's the data about the data. It's not the main story, right? It's not the actual chapters of the guide. It's all the info surrounding it: the author, the version, the date. In a nutshell, it's the context. And that right there brings us to the single most important takeaway from this whole thing. Context is everything. Seriously, the content of something tells you what it is, but the context, the metadata, that tells you why it is, how it is, and maybe most importantly, where it's going. When you get right down to it, we just decoded the story of an entire project from one single line of text. And that leaves me with one final question for you to think about. What stories are hiding in plain sight, in all the little details all around you, just waiting for someone to read them?